let's check our mics and everything, because I've been given strict instructions from management to make sure the mic and everything check in. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Mona Lisa, say hello. Let's see if we can hear you properly. The 112 check there.
I'm sorry, but I can hardly hear.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hardly hear you. I'm trying.
Okay.
1 second,
Let's
please.
turn these mics up.
There's so much noise. I can't hear anything. One second. I know it's very noisy. I think I'm gonna have to change location.
Okay.
Cause
all right, change location, Amari, and then we'll. Sorry.
And it's very noisy. 1 second.
Okay.
Guys, let's get back in the car. My cab driver, he went to the wrong location, so we got to be going all the way back. So I stopped to do the interview. So give me a second. I'll just have to do it inside the car. Hey guys, what's up? Come on over by the chat. Is it the chat show? I think. The Chat About Show on Instagram. Okay, I'll be going on in a second. This guy really messed up my day. He brought me to the other side of town. Sorry about that. I hope I can hear you now.
Okay.
Can you turn up the window?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have DJ Amari, A.K.A. Mona Lisa, checking live on the RTM radio for her first exclusive interview in the UK. I want to say, Amari, it's a pleasure. It took a while for us to get in contact with you because you're such a busy woman, but we finally done it, and we've arranged this interview after what, 2-3 years? It's been quite a while, Amari. We've been trying to get in contact with you.
It's been quite a while, but I guess nothing happens before the time.
That's true. That's definitely true. So Amari, tell us a little bit about your childhood and what it was like growing up for you.
Growing up was at one point I was a very happy person, but then after child molestation and teen rape, I completely lost myself, and I've been trying to find myself ever since. You know, but I was always involved in music, and my teachers were always impressed with me. I had this personality that everyone loved, and you know, apart from the incident that occurred in my life, life was beautiful, but that incident totally threw me off track.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the incident? You don't have to go into too much details if you don't wish to.
I don't mind, because you know, I'm an advocate for children that have been abused, molested, you know, so I don't mind talking about it. But my mom had left me in care of my grandma from I was 6 weeks old. So my grandmother, you know, she basically did, you know, the basic things like making sure I eat, and most of all, making sure I go to school. But other family members, you know, got me involved in certain things, you know, that, like I said, on one particular night, I went somewhere and I saw my siblings, my sister and my cousins, you know, making out. I was pretty young, and I left to return to my room, and that's when they told this guy to take advantage of me, you know, sexually. And it was very torturing, very sad, very shocking.
Wow.
I was only like 12 years old, 11 years old, and
Yeah.
it took a toll on me. Yeah.
Wow. So you've experienced such a, I'd say, quite a traumatic childhood. At what age did you have your first child?
And well, shortly after the incident occurred, I started to run away from home, and
Mm-hmm.
my life just got out of hand. So I had my first child at the age of 15. I actually got pregnant at age 14, and I gave birth to the child at age 15. And I was searching for a
Yeah.
safe haven, so I remained
Okay,
within the
so at age
family.
15, when you had your first child, how did you adapt to being a mother?
Pardon me?
How did you adapt to being a mother at the age of 15?
Well, I had everything twisted. I felt unloved. My mother wasn't there for me. My grandmother didn't know what I was going through. There was no one there for me. And so I wanted a child that I could show the love that I needed in my life. So it wasn't hard being that mother that I always wanted my mother to be. I was definitely there for my child. I dropped out of high school, and
Mm-hmm.
but the good thing is the father was there for me, and we went on to getting married and having 6 other children.
Oh, wow. So how long was you married for?
I was married for like 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you still have a relationship with your ex-husband?
No, I actually don't. None whatsoever.
Okay. So you was born in Jamaica. At what age did you move to the US?
I migrated to the US when I was like 17 years old, because I remember coming just before my 18th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how did you adapt to being a mom, being in another country and working? What was the struggle for you?
Well, my mom wouldn't allow me to bring my children with me. I had 2 children, so
Okay.
the same life that I had, took effect on my children. But I was determined that
Mm-hmm.
I would not let them go through what I went through. And so within 2 years, I filed for them and brought them to the U.S. Because although the immigration would have allowed me to bring my children, my mother
Yeah.
did not allow that.
Mm.
And I came here, I wasn't happy. I left my baby at 3 months old, my last
Yeah.
child. And my womb
Mm-hmm.
cried out for my child. And I went back to Jamaica, but when I went back to Jamaica, nobody would accept me because they said I had no ambition for returning back to my country, because
Mm.
I longed to be with my family. And so
Wow.
I had to refile for my children because they originally got through with me, but my mother wouldn't allow it. So I refiled for my
Mm-hmm.
children and refiled for my husband and brought the entire family here.
Okay. And how did you adjust to the US culture compared to the culture that you left behind? How did you adjust with that and being a mom and having a career?
I honestly never adapted to the US culture. I feel that the system have totally failed me, because shortly, several years after arriving in the US, I gave birth to 6 beautiful children, and the United States took away all my children. I didn't see them for 14 years.
You didn't see your kids for 14 years. During
Yes.
that 14 years, what was you doing career-wise?
Career-wise, I was a radio personality, and one day I was on the radio. I realized I was entertaining the world, but my kids weren't there with me. And I swore that I would not return to radio until my kids were returned to me. The 14 years were like 14 years of fighting for my rights. My mother fought me tooth and nail for the kids. The father signed away his rights. and they were fighting me in the music industry. So a lot of lies were told about me. I strongly believe in Jesus Christ. The more I spoke about him, I was said to be insane. They sent me to psychologists. The psychologist passed me, and so they sent me to another psychologist. I went through a lot. I even went through a situation where a social worker came to my house wanting for me to give him OS, and I refused to. And so it's nothing I can speak on radio, but the social worker, um, he played with himself, basically messed up my bed, messed up my face, and the system wasn't hearing me. When I told them all that I was going through, they just say that I'm crazy. When I talk about Jesus, they say I'm crazier. When I tell my kids, when I try to give my kids hope, they tell me to shut up because I'm imagining things and I'm just living in an illusionary world. So I completely had to transform into somebody else in order to survive, in order to live, because all the reasons for living, they were gone. And years later, the government, they realized that wrong was done to me and they wanted to make it right. But I said, it's okay. As long as God knows the truth, it's okay. I don't need to be redeemed by you now. We're talking about lawsuits and everything else. And I said, no, it's okay. It's time to move on and live my life.